Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Surreal Sundays. I hope your week was prosperous and you are enjoying your weekend. You're doing everything that you and your family wanted to do. And tonight we're gonna be getting into uh, Mr. Marvin Sapp. All right, and the shenanigans he had going on at his church and what have you. So the title is No Dough, No Go. That's right. He held people hostage until he got his 40K. And then after that, we're going to be getting into a man leaves his family in a high speed chase. Okay. And then for Snatch Shenanigans, we got a story about a lady deleting her husband. And of course, we got that hot video and whiskey of the week. And without further ado, let's get into it.
You are now listening to some old school shit.
Welcome back. Like I was saying before, we was getting into the shenanigans that Warren Sapp was doing with his church and what have you. But before we get into anything, I wanted to address what I consider a very important question that came up in last week's episode when we was talking about the towns that we had built um, over the years, and that the other people came and took that away. The title of that show was "Pull Yourself Up by Your Bootstraps," but you keep taking the boots away from us, right? So part of that conversation is that um, in order to know who you are, you got to know who your enemy is. Okay, so the question was, we brought up the word Esau. Okay, and that's the biblical name of a certain people. So the question was, okay, who's our enemy? Or better yet, I believe the question was, well, who is Esau? But and what have you. So to learn who your enemy is to also learn more about yourself and what have you. And it will prompt you and will prompt us as a people to move how we supposed to move according to our original culture. according to our original belief system. Okay, so before we get into what Warren Sapp doing and the other parts of the show, I want to go into who is Esau. Okay, let's want to take a look at the chat and what have you. Who's with us right now? Who's with us right now? I get somebody to like raise their hand. Okay, A-Team is in the house. A-Team is in the house. A-Team says he brought out the best in me when everyone else around me saw the worst in me. So I want to ask this question, okay, to start off the conversation. According to your common knowledge and whatever education will help support that, what race of people were the Greeks, the ancient Greeks, and today's Greeks, and the ancient Romans? Okay, so I'm gonna wait for that answer so we can because I don't want to try to manipulate any or push any idealism on you, but I want to start off with the basis of what race of people, according to your education, according to the statues that you have seen and what have you, of ancient Greece and ancient Romans, who were the people? What race of people were depicted in that them sculptures and what have you, and the information that you know of? I'm gonna wait for the answer. Holla at me, people. What race of people are depicted in the sculptures of ancient Greece and Rome? Ancient Greece and Rome. Ancient Greece is Rome. While I'm waiting on the answer, I'm gonna get this playlist going. Okay, A-Team said Caucasian. So that's commonly accepted worldwide, okay? So that's really no mystery, right? That the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans and today's Greeks and today's people that dwell in Italy are Caucasian, right? Okay, so with that information, we're gonna start off with this, okay? We're gonna start off with this. All right, let me get rid of some of these graphics right quick. All right, we got rid of some of the graphics. Okay. All right. Maccabees 1:1. Maccabees is in the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha was a set of books that were taken out by the first Protestants, okay, as a means of separating themselves from the Roman Catholic Church, along with other underlying reasons on why they wanted to do so. So the Old Testament stops at our people being in captivity to the Persian Medes, okay? And then it picks up in the New Testament with us being in captivity to Rome. But between Persia and the Medes and Rome, there was a Grecian or Hellenistic period in which we were subjected to, okay? They took that part out because within them scriptures ties them to a biblical name. So we gonna go ahead and get into it, okay? And Maccabees 1 and 1 is in the Apocrypha. Matter of fact, the Apocrypha is still existing. It's not in the Bibles that you will find at a Presbyterian church or a Baptist church or a Catholic church, anything like that. But it's still present in the Roman Catholic Church. They still have the Apocrypha in their Bibles, okay? So this is, and then there's arguments out there that say that the Apocrypha is not canon and what have you. But I'm not gonna go off into if it is or isn't, it is. And there's many scriptures that I can pull out to tie what's going on in the Apocrypha to what's going on, what happened in Daniel. Daniel's vision of the beast that came out of the sea. And then we got the when Christ was at the temple during the Feast of Dedication. Okay. The Feast of Dedication is tied to and originated from in the book of the Maccabees. Okay, so there's a tie there. So we're gonna go into, but we're gonna get back on track and get back on connecting what we all just said. What is common knowledge, even is a layman. You can ask anyone, not really anyone, but you can ask most people, and they will say, well, yeah, the Greeks and the Romans were Caucasian. All right, that's not even that. So that's considered common knowledge, supported by scholarly works, supported by the Bible. Let's go. First Maccabees 1 and 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. So who's the first king over Greece? Who's the first king over Greece? We just read it. The world called him Alexander, and they have a description of him. I'm gonna call him Alexander the Less. So the opposite of that, Alexander, and you can say it, I'm not gonna say it. Alexander the Less, okay? So we're gonna read it again because it's some key words I want you to write down, okay? Or take a mental note. And it happened after Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian. Stop. Macedonian. I want you to keep that in mind. Macedonian. That's the key word for right now. Macedonian, okay? Macedonian. All right, Macedonia. Macedonia, Macedonia. That's a key word right now. Macedonia. So we gotta go to, because they didn't have this in Trying to set this up right quick. All right. So let me switch over to the video screen. All right. Can everybody see this? Can y'all see this pretty well? Do I need to blow it up some? I want to make sure everybody see this. I'm gonna wait for the chat. All right. Mrs. O says she can see this. So what we are still in the part of the Bible that is called the Apocrypha. The addition. Okay, 18 says she cannot read it. So that means we gotta blow this up some. That should be a whole lot better. I'll wait for some feedback. Can you see it? Is it still blurry? Much better. Okay, got much better. All right. Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. All right, so we got some positive feedback. So this is now legible. For Ammon, a Macedonian, that word, Macedonian, the son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood. That means he was foreign. He wasn't a Persian. And far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us. So what I want to take out of this scripture is Haman, a Macedonian, son of Amadatha. I get tongue-tied on everything, just about. Amadatha. Okay, so what we'll find is when we reference back into the Old Testament in the book of Esther, the names kind of change a little bit, but these are the same people. Ammon is spelled Haman with an H in the Old Testament. Okay, so for Haman, a Macedonian, Haman is a Macedonian. That is a connection. So let's keep that in mind. Haman, a Macedonian, all right? Haman, a Macedonian. All right, can we see this? Can we see this? Can we see this? I got a little thing on here that says text size. We can add to it a little bit. Okay. Make this a little bit better. Just a little bit better. All right, can we see this? All right, Mrs. O says yes. 18. Del Monte Green Beans, what's in the house? Peace to you, brother. Can we see what's on the screen? Can we read it? Is it legible to you? I got a yes out of Mrs. O. Let me get one more yes. Yes, sir. A team. Okay, we got another yes. So here we go. Additions to Esther, chapter 12, verse 6 in the Apocrypha. Howbeit Haman, the son of Amadeus, the Agatite, who was in great honor with the king, sought to molest Meredotius, which is Mattathias of his people, because of the two eunuchs of the king. That's not. It wasn't Mattathias. It was Well, we'll go to the Old Testament, and I'll get the name. It just uh, the name is leaving me right now. So, well, the key points we want to get out of this. Howbeit Ammon, the son of Amadeus, the Agatite. So now we got Haman being from Macedonia, and he's the son of Amadeus, the Agatite. So Agatite, keep Agatite in mind. So we're building a bridge here. We started off with recognizing, according to common knowledge, common agreed knowledge, that the Greeks and the Romans were and are Caucasians. Then we went to Maccabee 1 and 1, and we get that Alexander was the son of a Macedonian. So now we in Macedonia. Now we're talking about Ammon. Ammon, who was of or in Macedonia or of Macedonia. He's the son of a Agatite. So now I want you to keep Agatite in mind, okay? Agatite. To support the notion that the Apocrypha isn't canon, we just went into the editions of Esther. Now we're going to go into the Old Testament. Esther 3 and 1. If it wasn't canon, this wouldn't match up right here. Let's get rid of the what's the name right quick. So that will stop. All right. After these things did the king Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agatite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. Okay. Just to support what was going on in the Apocrypha. Okay. Ammon is the same character as Hammon. Okay. The spelling changes a little bit because of the translations or when it was translated. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agatite, the Jews' enemy. So now I want to get into Agatite. All right. Let's blow this up some. Take some of this down here so we can see it better. All right. Can we all see this? Let's see. Hold on. We got books that cost $20K, etc. The Apocrypha don't cost $20K at all. That thing is probably $20 at best on Amazon. All you need is the Bible. But there's some stuff out here. We got this right here on the Jewish encyclopedia. Okay. Can everybody see this? I want to make sure everybody can see this. Give me a couple of yeses or nos, please, before I continue. Can we see what's on the screen? Is it legible? Do I need to blow it up some more? If I blow it up anymore, it'll start coming off the screen. Okay, Mrs. O says yes. We can see it. All right, it's good, it's good. All right, what I got here is Hammond the Agagite, son of Hammedathiah, chief minister, king Ahasuerus, and his name indicates Hammond was descendant of Agag. So descendants of Agag are called Agatites. Okay? Who was Agag? The king of the Amalekites. Okay, so now we starting to build that bridge. First, we started off with having common knowledge. I'm gonna keep going back to the beginning and what have you, because, when this gets out to other people who may not know and what have you, you gotta kind of keep reminding them to keep them on track. We started off with recognizing who the ancient Greeks, the ancient and present Greeks are, the ancient and present Romans are. And it's an overwhelming consensus that is the Caucasian, all right? So then we recognize who was first over Greece. Was Alexander the Great, the son of a Macedonian. And we went into the editions of Esther, and we came across a character called Haman, who was a Macedonian, who was the son of a Macedonian. He was a Macedonian himself, son of an Agagite. And now we hear that an Agagite is a descendant of Agag. And who is Agag? Agag was a king of the Amalekites. Okay? Mordecai was the name I was trying to come up with. I see it in the text here, Mordecai. All right, from earlier, when I got tripped over that name that I couldn't pronounce. So now where we at in the stage is the Amalekites. Who are the Amalekites? All right, can we all see this? I want to make sure. Okay, we're not just limited to the Bible. Our history is vast past the surface, OG. One thing about politics and religion, it brings out a lot of emotion, and what have you. My purpose on this show is to bring out what's written, and we're outside of the Bible right now. We're using the Jewish encyclopedia, but nothing trumps the Bible. The Bible is our history. And if what the scholars don't write line up with what's in the scripts, then it's left up to some skepticism. But I'm not here to go back and forth over minute words and details. I want to tie the ancient Greeks, present Greeks, the ancient Rome, present Romans to where we at right now. So who are the Amalekites? Can everybody see this? I want to make sure everybody see this before I continue. I need some yeses, some nos before I continue. I want to make sure everybody see this. Okay, Mrs. O says yes. Can I get one more yes? Because Mrs. O is looking at a 50-inch TV, so she can see a lot. So a 55-inch TV, so she can see a lot. I want to make sure everybody can see this. One more yes. Can I get one more yes? Can I get one more yes? 1,000, 2,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Can I get a yes? Can I get a yes for 100? Cooking and listening. The Monty Greens is now cooking and listening. All right. Could have put in a yes or a no when you typed in cooking and listening. Just saying, bro. It's good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on. Name of a nomadic nation south of Palestine. That the Amalekites were not Arabs, but of the stock related to the Edomites. The Edomites. Now, I'm getting this out of the Jewish encyclopedia. Let me remove the, what's the name here so you can see that. And the, let me remove the other one. Okay. Wow, I wish you could see that. There we go. We got it right here. The Jewish Encyclopedia. By Max Muller and Kaufman Kohler. Kaufman Kohler is most definitely, that's a Jewish last name. Probably along the lines of Coleman or something along them lines or what have you. Anyway, so the Amalekites are related to the Edomites. The Amalekites are related to the Edomites. Now I'm about to go back up to where we came from. We got the Edomites, which are related to the Amalek, on the Amalekites, which King Agag, which was rulership over at a point in time. And King Agag, his descendants were called Agatites, in which Amon was the son of an Agatite who dwelled in Macedonia, in which Alexander's father was a Macedonian. So Alexander derives from Macedonia. And Alexander the Less is the first over Greece. Now y'all try and find holes in that all you want to. I just tied the Caucasians to the Edomites. And I didn't stretch anything. Let's go back to it. Let's read further. There's some other good juicy bits in here. Amalek is the son of Esau, firstborn of Eliphaz, and the concubine of Timah, the daughter of Seir the Horite, and the sister of Lotan. Now, does that line up with the scripts? I don't know. Let's go see. First Chronicles 1 and 34. And Abraham begat Isaac, the son of Isaac, Esau and Israel, or Jacob, at this time. The sons of Esau, Eliphaz, Ruel, Jeush, Jeush, and Jalam, and Korah. The son of Eliphaz, Teman, and Omar, Zephi, and Gatam, and Kenaz, and Timah, and Amalek. And Amalek. Do Agag in the scholarly writings, in the Jewish encyclopedia line up with the scripts? I don't know. Here we go. 1 Samuel 15 and 8. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. Some survive, obviously, because they're here today. Here today, he most definitely was here when Alexander the Less took over and became the first over Greece. Let's look a little bit about Esau. Edom is the name with which is given to Esau, the firstborn firstborn son of Isaac. On the day he sold his birthright to Jacob for a mess of pottage, the reddish color which give it its name, Adam. There was something down here. Let me see if I can find it. Post-biblical times. What's going on, Highway Skinny? What's happening? What's going on with you? Post-biblical times. Edom is mentioned in the cuneiform inscriptions in the form of Udumi. 3 of the kings are known from the same source. Okay? Now I'm going to try and wrestle with these names. According to the Egyptian inscription, The Aduma at times extended their possessions down as far as the borders of Egypt. After the conquest of Judah by the Babylonians, the Edomites were allowed to settle in southern Palestine. At the same time, they were driven by the Nabateans from Idumea. The southern Palestine, they prospered for more than 4 centuries. Judah's Maccabees conquered their territory for a time. They were again subdued by John Hyrcanus. John Hyrcanus and Maccabees is of the same family. They are the Maccabees, by whom they were forced to observe Jewish rites and laws. They were forced to observe the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. And the Jewish encyclopedia, written by Jewish people, is about to tell you who they are. Here it is. The very next sentence, pay very close attention. They were incorporated with the Jewish nation. They were incorporated with the Jewish nation. So Judah Maccabees and John Hyrcanus forced them to observe our laws, statutes, and commandments, and they took on our laws, statutes, and commandments onto themselves. I'm at a loss for words right now. Trying to find the right words for them. When you integrate, when you mix in, and what have you. They adopted our belief system. Okay? They adopted our beliefs. They incorporated with the Jewish nation, and their country was called by the Greeks and Romans Idumea. With Antipater began the Idumean dynasty that ruled over Judea till its conquest by the Romans. Herod. That's the Herod line, who was put over Judea. Okay, so they put their own as a who understood the culture, who understood the law, statutes, and commandments that we abide by, because he studied underneath that coming up. Assimilated. And Rome put him as a ruler over us in Judea. He was like a governor, right? And Antipater began the Idumean dynasty that ruled over Judea till its conquest by the Romans. Immediately before the siege of Jerusalem, 20,000 Idumeans under the leadership of John, Simon, Phineas, and Jacob appeared before Jerusalem to fight in behalf of the zealots who were besieged in the temple. From this time, listen carefully. Oh, I thought I had it on. Let me put it up. Let me reread that, what I just read. We'll go right here at the top of the page. After the conquest of Judah by the Babylonians, the Edomites were allowed to settle in. Okay, we already went through that. They were then incorporated with the Jewish nation, and their country was called the Greeks and the Romans Idumea. With Antipater began the Idumean dynasty. We are right here. I'm gonna put it at the top, right at the very top. We are right there, at the very top. With Antipater began the Idumean dynasty that ruled over Judea till its conquest by the Romans. Immediately before the siege of Jerusalem, 20,000 Idumeans were under the leadership of John, Simon, Phineas, and Jacob appeared before Jerusalem to fight in behalf of the zealots who were besieged in the temple. From this time, the Jewish encyclopedia is about to expose itself. They're telling you who they are in their own literature. From this time, the Idumeans ceased to be a separate people through the name Idumeans, though the name Idumeans still existed the time of Jerome. According to the law, the congregation could not receive descendants of marriage between the Israelites and an Edomite until the fourth generation. That's another topic. But in several instances within this passage, they're telling you the integration. They're telling you how they became Jewish. They also, through linkaging everything with starting from Alexander the Less, going back in time, Alexander the Less connecting him through his father as a Macedonian, and then with Hagag, or Hanan, or Ammon, being a Macedonian, connecting him through his father as an Agatite, and then finding out what an Agatite is. An Agatite is a descendant of King Agag, who is a Amalek, who comes from Amalek, stock of Amalek. And Amalek is the grandson of Esau. We're not going to get into it, but if you got a Bible in the Old Testament, I strongly suggest that you read the book of Obadiah. It gives their description or what they use as a symbol. So it further ties them to who they are today. I just tied Alexander the Less. I just tied him to being an Edomite. I didn't just do it, the scripts did. I just presented that to you. You accept that for what it is. For those who is for, your eyes is open. And for those who the Most High deemed to remain closed, it is not your time yet. Let me get this off the screen. All right. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. The Monty Green Beans. Identity thieves. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some people out there, they will say that, well, it says that they came from Chittim or Kittim. And then they want to tie or say Ashkenazi. And Ashkenazi comes from, has a line going to, let's see, we had Ham, Shem, and Japhet. It's Japhetic and what have you. But we just seen that the lineage of Esau. Grandfather was Abraham. Isaac was his father. Newsflash. Esau is our brother. It's the classic story of Cain and Abel all over again. I couldn't find an 1800 King James Bible I can read. The text is too small for my eyes. Well, let me put this in front of the camera right quick. I don't know if you can see this. This is from this is Cambridge. Cambridge makes this one right here. It's not a 1611, but it does suffice. Very close to that language or that style of English, but it does serve the purpose. Nothing is missing out of this book right here. King James Version with the Apocrypha by Cambridge. Okay, go check it out. For those who it's pricey. It's over $100 for the one I got, and because it's calf leather. I think all the ones are 100 or so because you can get them in calf leather or some other form of leather and what have you. But for those who don't have that to invest in, you already have a traditional Bible. Was viewed as a traditional Bible in this society, in today's world. Just go on Amazon, type in the Apocrypha. I mean, shit, let's do it right now. Amazon. Go to Amazon. Amazon. Here we go. We got one right here. Apocrypha. For $10. Let me blow that up a little bit. That looks small. Apocrypha, King James Version. Where it go? The Woman's Study Bible. I don't know about all that. Let's see here. Right here. All right. Hardcover, $10. If you don't want to get a whole complete Bible, you want to add on to what you already have, the Apocrypha for $10. And you win. We got the hardcover, the paperback, the audio book with membership trial, and the Kindle version available instantly. Okay? For those who are not able to, it's also the publisher, Press Syndicated of the University of Cambridge. So it comes from the same people who wrote the Bible that I have, of Cambridge. Cambridge is a well-known publisher, so you shouldn't feel any kind of way about copying you one of those with that. Okay. All right. So now I have addressed. Mrs. O says, hold on, let's get over here, back over on this page. Mrs. O says you can order the Bible from originalwarrior.com as well DeMonte Green. Yeah, you can do that with originalroyalty.com. You can also, if you don't want to go that route, there are plenty of online bookstores. What's the name of that major bookstore? They kind of closed their brick and mortar, but they still around on online. I'm not good with names, especially in the spur of the moment. There's a bunch of online bookstores that have it. All you gotta do is use your Google skills and put in the search King James Version with Apocrypha by Cambridge. And presto, you got a bunch of online stores you can order the shit from. Okay? Real simple. It ain't Barnes and Noble. That was what I was thinking about. But you don't have to go Barnes and Nobles, like I said. You can go use your Google skills and type in King James Version with the Apocrypha by Cambridge University. And a whole bunch of shit gonna pop up and give you all kinds of options that you can search from. You can choose from, okay? All right. Having all my graphics. All right, there go all my graphics. Okay. So, that question came up last week, like, who is our enemy? Who is Esau? And I couldn't make it no plainer. You can accept it or not. And that's not to the person who posed the question. That was an opportunity to educate whoever runs across this video, whoever run across tonight's stream. Part of knowing who you are is part of knowing who you up against. And once you realize who you up against, you'll stop trusting in all these systems and processes that they have in place for you to partake in and think you're gonna get a different result that you haven't gotten before. You'll stop asking for reparations because you know not to expect it. You stop asking not to be profile driving, walking, sleeping while black. You wouldn't have to wonder, or ask why you was treated unfairly at work. What you'll start saying was, yeah, that's right in line with them. I mean, they did exactly what they supposed to do. I expect that. You'll stop asking why. You'll start saying, yep, that's what they did what they were supposed to do. And you'll start moving differently. You stop trusting in this system and you'll start trusting in your own culture and belief system that you used to trust in so long ago. So we done with that subject. Now we're gonna get into tonight's title. No dough, no go. Ain't that about a motherfucker? Ain't that about a motherfucker? Let me get this set up here. Let me get this set up here. A couple of things I gotta play with right quick before. All right. Let's move on over here. Let me get the let's see, name, display. I really don't need that. I don't need to be on there. I want the video owner and the disclaimer. We want that. All right. So I had the video owner up. I'm typing in the video owner because I don't want any more strikes. And we only gonna use a snippet of the video to get the gist of it. All right, so here we go. We got Warren Sapp in his BS. All right, we're gonna check out what he had to tell the congregation. All right, let's go.
Quickly, how many close the doors for me for a quick moment? I want everybody to remain standing quickly. How many of y'all really received something from the word of the Lord tonight? Listen, when you study scripture, you will notice that whenever God did something in the lives of the patriarchs of old, the patriarchs would pause, they would set up an altar, and they would offer up sacrifice. I asked each and every one of you how many of y'all received something from the word of the Lord. Everyone in this place said these words: I did. Because of your acknowledgement of what God did in word, there is an obligation that is attached to that acknowledgement. In biblical days, they offered livestock, grain. That was a type of currency. Note, if you will, I did not say money. I said currency. And this is what God is saying for at least 1,000 of you.
All right. Hold up. Wait a motherfucking minute. He said it was a type of currency. He said this. Let's look back at what he said. Let's go back. Let's take a gander of his bullshit. Okay.
I said currency. And this is what God is saying for at least 1,000. In biblical days, they offered livestock, grain. That was a type of currency. Note, if you will, I did not say money. I said currency.
He said currency. He said currency. Is currency what the Bible used? I don't know. Let's see. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy currency. The scripts say seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year. Sap said, I ain't say money, I said currency. Well, the Most High didn't say neither one. He didn't say neither one. He ain't saying neither one. Notice I didn't say money, I said currency. And for those who were far off, who had to travel back to Judea, who had to travel back to Jerusalem, they will sell their livestock, they will sell their seed, turn that into money. Then once they got to the homeland, once they got back to Judea, once they got back to Jerusalem, they will buy livestock, they will buy vegetation, and then give it to the Levites. They only turned it into currency, so they didn't have much to carry with them. But once they got back to the homeland, they turned it back to what it was originally, and then gave it away. Numbers 18:20, and the Lord spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in thy land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part and thy inheritance among the children of Israel. Aaron, Moses, and their sons, or Aaron's sons, were of the tribe of Levi. Levi, at this point in time, their responsibility was the priesthood. And the rest of the 11 tribes' job was to support them. So they didn't get a land like the other 11 tribes. They lived within those lands because they had other responsibilities. Their responsibility was to make sure that everybody was in line with the law, statutes, and commandments, and did what they was commanded to do in regards to the sacrifices and the temple. So to relieve them of any other responsibilities, everybody else had to take care of the Levites. So the Levites didn't have nothing else to worry about but the law, statutes, and commandments. And making sure everybody abide by them. That's it. Sap talking about he ain't say money. He said Most High ain't say money or currency. He said thou shalt truly tithe all thy increase of thy seed. What else you got to say, Pastor Pimp?
And this is what God is saying for at least 1,000 of you in the building. And this is simple. I'm not going to challenge you the way Bishop did. But I know that there's 1,000 individuals under the sound of my voice that can do what I'm about to challenge you all to do. This is simple. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge will be $20,000. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge you all to do will be $20,000. Now, for those of us who are on the dais, I'm taking you higher, so put it back. I'm a strong believer that leaders lead not only in time, not only in talent, but also in treasure. Leaders lead in time, talent, and treasure. I was taught a long time ago that it costs to sit up here. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close.
I mean, if you want to be a real butthole about it, at this point it's kidnapping. And at this, which is federal, and at this point it's extortion, which is federal. I mean, you really want to be a butthole about it? You telling folks, well, he ain't say it yet. Let's listen.
Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100.
And that's about as much as I'm going to play that video out of fear of getting a strike, okay? Even though we going to put it in the description. We got it here, and the owners of it is Kingdom Minded. Shout out to Kingdom Minded. Thank you for the material, Kingdom Minded. Kingdom Minded is the owner. The owner is Kingdom Minded. Kingdom Minded is the owner. Owner. The minor, Kingdom Minded is the owner of this video. Ultimately, is the whoever recorded this on television. Ultimately, the church from what Marvin Sapp is doing this at is the ultimate owner of it. But Kingdom Minded is the owner. Kingdom Minded is the owner. The owner is Kingdom Minded. All right. So that's all we're going to take out of that video. What scripture is that? Can somebody show me where you supposed to close the doors and restrict any outward movement, people exiting the motherfucking building, so you can get 4K, so you can get 4 stacks or racks, whatever slang they use nowadays? What script is that? Check this out. Well, let me take the graphics down again so you can see everything. I gotta take that down. All All right. But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as a heave offering unto the Lord, have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore, I have said unto them, among the children of Israel, they shall have no inheritance. Now, since then, the priesthood has been transferred over to Judah. And there's scripts to back that up. Anybody that wants to the Monty Green Beans. I like that one. The Monty Green Beans. The Monty Green Beans. Let's go into the chat. We got some stuff going on over here. My sister is in the house. Take heed to the message. Take heed to the message. Yeah. Hello to you, sister. Thanks for joining, coming in, checking us out tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm trying to find that chat. Something that Del Monte had said. It was funny as hell. Trying to find it. Oh, well, I ain't gonna spend much time. Yeah, that was another funny comment he said. Del Monte Green said he wants some help with that hairline. He wants some help with that airline. I know 40 King gonna do it, but it's a start, strong start. He said something else. I can't find it. I ain't gonna worry about it. Pretty funny. The Monty is the Monty Green Beans. He's a funny guy. He keeps the room going. All right. Something else. Okay, so that's with tithing. So it's a commandment for us to give alms, and alms is a free will offering. Okay, and there's benefits in giving alms and what have you. And what have you. It's something that you're supposed to do along with practicing righteousness. Okay, so you can't buy yourself into the kingdom. And practicing righteousness also means obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's the definition of righteousness. So you ought to give alms. That's a free will offering. But I can't. I tried. I tried to find a script where the Levites closed everybody in the camp. Said nobody go until we get 40,000 goats and chickens and doves and wine drink offerings or the equivalent thereof. Since Mr. Sapp want to play that twist, I ain't say money. I said currency. What script is that? There isn't a damn script for that. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Christ said you will know them by their works. And they do this every Sunday in their churches. They play that music, that organ be going, you know what I'm saying? You stirring up your emotions, all psychological, all witchcraft. And knowing you got to pay that electric bill, knowing you got to pay that gas bill, knowing you got to pay that cell bill, knowing you got to pay that rent, knowing you got to get some food, knowing your kids need some shoes, you still give your last 20 because you got in that pastor got you to get in your emotions that day. Would you rob God? Is what they use to manipulate your mind. This is another form of black on black crime. Because while you go home to your $800 house that you rent, that you get to and go from by way of your $15,000 car or public transportation, you helping support this man drive his Bentley, flying private jets, $200,000 suits from the best, tailored from the best tailors, is cut nice and crisp. Everything. Kids going to private school and everything. Yours going to public. Kind of remind me of these rappers. One of them is Jeezy, rapping about being a snowman. Then come to find out his kids going to private school and shit. While he's rapping, he's still rapping to everybody that, snowman and shit. Yeah. And then everybody want to emulate him and be the snowman and end up dead or have to go up. While he rapping about shit he got away with and profiting off of it. And he ain't the only one. Beyonce says, put his shit to the left. Jay-Z done fucked around on her 1,000 times, and she know about it. She ain't put his shit to the left, not once. The only thing she moved to the left was her ass when she was riding. She moved it to the left a little bit. Get a different angle on things. She sucked it to the left. But as far as his clothes, she ain't touched that shit. She sat there in that situation and endured it. Knowing what he was about, she married into it. But she'll teach you to put his shit to the left. These pastors will tell you to give your last dime. You struggling to pay A, B, C, and D. And his shit is prepaid for the next 2-3 years. Maybe even more than that. He ain't even got to take out any. He's living off of interest now. He's taking loans off of his capital. He got a $10 million in the bank. You know what I'm saying? He take a $500,000 loan and then he pay it with the interest that he make off the $10 million. That's where he's at in the game. But you working, you living check to check and giving your last bit because this is your season. It ain't been your season. If your season is a cold, hard, treacherous winter, then yeah, that's your motherfucking season. but you ain't seen sunshine in a long time. But if your season is cold and hard and you struggling and it's your season, all right. Enjoy your motherfucking season. So that's it with Mr. Warren Sapp and his pimpetry. We're gonna get off into a man leaves the family behind in a high-speed chase. But before we do so, we're gonna holler. Miss O got something to say to us, and we're gonna get into that right quick. And what have you. So Miss O, go ahead and do your thing.
Shalom, family. This is Mrs. O. Thank you for joining our channel. If you enjoy our content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you would like to support our channel, you can do so by scanning the QR codes to the Cash App or the PayPal in the lower left corner. We would greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the show.
All right, so let me set up this stuff over here for this other bullshit that's going on in the world. All right, we're gonna go ahead and switch on over. Video owner, I want to make sure that's it right. All right, here we go. A man leaves family behind after high-speed crash in Houston area. Let's get it.
Right now, the search is on for a man who left his family behind after a high-speed crash on Tuesday. Police in Houston say the man was speeding down the street in a Ford Expedition at 100 miles an hour. His car collided with a truck that made an illegal turn into a gas station. The Expedition flipped into a ditch. Police say the driver ran off and had another car pick him up. Meanwhile, his wife and 4 kids were left behind at the scene.
Once I went down there to get help, he come out of there, he trampled over all the babies and the mama and all. She was bleeding everywhere. He took off running. He met another car down the street and got in the car and took off.
The oldest child was ejected during the crash. Police say everyone was taken to the hospital in serious and critical condition.
New details are emerging about the father charged with abandoning his injured family following a 100-mile-per-hour crash.
40-year-old Terrence Lee Carr is accused of leaving his family behind after crashing his SUV. Fox 26's Jade Fleury is live for us outside of the Harris County Courthouse. Jade.
Yeah, Carr was supposed to appear in probable cause court last night, but that date has since been rescheduled. But court records outlining his past criminal history and charges are shedding more light on why he fled the day he crashed his vehicle with his family inside. Officials say 40-year-old Terrence Carr was driving 100 miles per hour with his family in the car when he slammed into a truck on Yale Street. Carr is accused of fleeing the scene, leaving his injured family behind. He's now facing a felony charge of abandoning a child. According to charging documents, Carr was already out on bond at the time of the crash, and just last month he was charged with driving drunk with a child passenger in the very same vehicle that recently crashed with his same 4 kids in the car. A witness reportedly heard Carr say, "Get my kids, I gotta get out of here," before taking off. Another witness telling police Carr said, "I'm running, I'm wanted." That witness also claiming he smelled of alcohol and drugs.
He come out of there, He trampled over all the babies and the mama and all. She was bleeding everywhere. He took off running.
Carr's wife reportedly suffered a broken arm. His 3-year-old had a collapsed lung, and his 8-year-old had injuries to the abdomen. The other children.
100-mile-per-hour chase. Children suffer collapsed lung. Injuries to the abdomen. And spiritual scars for the rest of their life. When they come of age, the anger, the wise, the hatred, he destroyed these children because he had a drinking problem, because he was wanted. He didn't love these children at all. I can't imagine subjecting my children, my family, to this behavior. If I'm a wild out, I'm a wild out on my solo. I'm gonna tell Mrs. O, look, hey, this, that, and the third happened. I did this, that, and the third. Don't put no money on my commissary. Don't liquidate shit. I'm up in here. Come holler at me every blue moon. Because she already got to suffer, the family already got to suffer by my absence. The lack of just the presence of me not even being there. And I'm not just saying me, I'm talking about when men do dumb shit. But then whatever resources I bring into the household, that's gone now. Now she got to fend for herself. The kids got to fend, they got to rely on less than. Less than. I had another video of this idiot. Let's play this. Let's play this. You can get a visual, a physical visual of this dude's maturity level.
New details are emerging about the father charged with abandoning his injured family following a 100-mile-per-hour crash.
40-year-old Terrence Lee Carr is accused of leaving his family behind after crashing his SUV. Fox 26's Jade Fleury is live for us outside of the Harris County Courthouse. Jade.
Yeah, Carr was supposed to appear in probable cause court last night, but that date.
Right now, the search is on.
Help! Bleeding everywhere. He took off.
New details are emerging about the
Okay, I apologize. I think I played the same video twice because of the same reporter that came up and what have you. Let me see something right quick while I'm scanning in different stuff. I'm trying to get a picture of this dude. This dude looks like a complete clown. I'm gonna spend a little time. Oh, here we go. Spend a little time on this. Here we go. I found it. And then I was gonna stop it from that point. But I found it. This is, look, 40 something years old, 40 years old or a little bit older, whatever the fuck. This is This is Nup Nup. What grown man has puffs in his head? This dude had the mentality of thug and thought this is when keeping it real goes wrong, goes straight south. Go straight south. Ms. O said he looks like the modern day Pookie Ray Ray. Nup Nup. This is Ray Ray, Tyrone. This is little whatever the fuck. Nup Nup. That's what that is. And then they want to use this as the example of all black men. We got the bad apples like this around. That want to, that they use to paint every black man with. For convenience, of course, so they can promote whatever propaganda they want to and paint us all with a broad brush. Your kids, dude, I hope you catch a million fades while you up in there, dude. That is up there with rape. That shit don't go well up inside either. When you subject your family to that shit don't go well either. Of course, he looks like he's been through there several times and he's ready for the smoke. Del Monte Green Bean says, puffs? Puffs? Yeah, puffs. Yeah, puffs. Mrs. O says, he said his wife and kids are replaceable in his mind. He didn't even say that. He didn't even say that. Mrs. O says, arrested development. Yes, indeed. Arrested development. That, yes. He is stuck in his childhood, as Nas would say. 40 years old, still acting like he was when he was 17, 16, 15, 16, 17. Arrested Development, absolutely. Absolutely. Hope you get everything you got coming to you. Up next is this week's Snatch Shenanigan. Let me get this queued up for you. I gotta do all the stuff that comes along with changing stuff. I gotta change the video owner and all that good stuff. So bear with me, fam, as I make sure everybody gets their credit so we don't get another strike. Okay. Well, we really don't have issues with news sources, but either way, we're still gonna do what we can do to make sure we don't get hit with anything. I'm gonna take myself off of it and take that off and go ahead and play the video. Let's get it.
Philadelphia police say she tried to cover her tracks, but the investigation. Tonight, a wife is accused of shooting and killing her husband. Philadelphia police say she tried to cover her tracks, but the investigation pointed to her as the suspect.
She has been arrested as investigators work to figure out why she allegedly pulled the trigger.
Monday night, I'm Shari Williams alongside Gray Hall. The big story on Action News tonight is a neighborhood stunned after a shocking murder.
An engineer for SEPTA is dead. His wife tonight in police custody after he was found in the street in the city's Endor neighborhood. Action News reporter Jessica Curtalia live for us outside Philadelphia Police headquarters with more on what we're learning about this investigation. Jessica.
Yeah, well, Gray and Shari, here at police headquarters, they're investigating this disturbing case of domestic violence as 3 children are left without their parents. Their father killed, their mother now behind bars.
We were shocked. We were totally shocked.
Total mayhem is how Andorra residents described the scene they woke up to on Wednesday morning.
10 cop cars, rescue, fire truck. It's a quiet street. That doesn't happen.
Philadelphia police say just before 7 a.m., officers responded to a report of a person screaming. When they arrived on Bells Mill Road, they found 38-year-old Jordan Baxter lying on a plastic sheet between 2 parked cars with a gun on his chest. Investigators discovered Baxter had been shot in the back of the head, and there was blood on a mattress inside the house. The next morning, 39-year-old Danielle Baxter was arrested and charged with murdering her husband.
Super nice family.
Neighbors who asked that we not show their faces say the couple has 3 children and were very friendly. Jordan Baxter worked as a SEPTA engineer for 14 years. SEPTA released a statement saying, "We're saddened by the tragic loss of Jordan Baxter, who was a veteran regional rail engineer. Our thoughts are with his loved ones at this difficult time."
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. They have children. Very nice.
A neighbor who shares a driveway with the Baxters says she was shocked that she never heard a gunshot.
I guess the way the houses are made, you hear children running up and down the steps or music, no voices. Ever.
Jordan Baxter's parents shared these photos with Action News and started a GoFundMe to help pay for his funeral.
I'm just sad. Very sad.
And when I spoke with Jordan Baxter's parents, they tell me that they were too distraught to go on camera, but they're hoping.
All right. Side note. Hold on one moment. Let me get this up here real quick. I want to go this route. I'll go with this route. How come every time one of us get deleted, a GoFundMe go up? go get you some life insurance. It doesn't cost that much. There's some cheap plans out there that provide $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 whole life. And then, you got some term life, you know what I'm saying, that you can get. It doesn't build any cash value, but it's a cheaper form of life insurance. Get you a 15, 20, 30 year policy and some term life insurance. So if something happens to you, your family don't have to ask the public for help. Be responsible. And this ain't got nothing to do with, but I'm like, every time we see this shit, it's a GoFundMe involved. It's ridiculous. Why do you want to put that type of burden on your family? I got a policy on me. I got a policy on Miss O. I got a policy on my son. And the minute my son, when he gets married, we gonna transfer that policy. He can take over the policy. I'm waiting for him to have his own family. And he can go ahead and take over that policy that I've had since he was 16. Or maybe, about 15. He's 29 now. Well, this is 2025. No, he'll be 30 this year. It don't cost him, but you ain't gonna miss it. Cheapest plan's gonna probably run you $15, $20 a month. You spend that at the corner store. Almost every day. We need to stop that, man. That's one of the things that we are not financially, as a people, are not financially responsible about, is our final expenses. Everybody up in this motherfucker with this free willy and dilly and giving a shit about nothing, you know what I'm saying? And for those of us that are acting reckless, upping your chances of you getting deleted earlier than expected. Somebody or in your corner, in your family, in your circle need to have enough sense to have a policy on your silly ass. I'm sick of that shit, man. I can't stand it. Every time I see a GoFundMe for this, that, and the third, I'm like, God damn. You go spend $1,000 on a car note, but you can't spend $25 for a policy a month? Really? Then when something happened to your silly ass, your wife got to take on the mortgage. She got to pay for the transition that she got to have, vice versa, the other way around. Have a policy with enough benefit in it where the kids can have a good start in it, you know what I'm saying? Because you should have a college fund going. Alongside with your policy, so So if something was to happen to you, you know what I'm saying, early, well, that college fund is not going to get funded like it was getting funded. Now, will it? So have enough to pay off the mortgage, have enough for her transition. Vice versa, you wife, do the same thing. Y'all got to stop thinking. Y'all got to stop thinking day to day like that. Well, as long as I wake up, as long as I'm on the top side of the dirt in the morning, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Nope. That is not how this system is set up. You got to act accordingly. And I'm way off topic, but I when I keep hearing this GoFundMe shit, it just irks my fucking nerves, man. I don't understand it. That's how the people on the other side, that's how they minimize financial setbacks. This is one of the financial vehicles that they use to minimize financial setbacks. And we got to incorporate the same thing, man. Asking the public to fund some shit that you should have been funding already. Let's get back to the story. Well, it's almost over. Let's finish it out.
Hoping that people will donate to that GoFundMe so that they can have the funeral that he deserves. We're live tonight at police headquarters. I'm Jessica Cartalia for Action News at 10 on
Yeah, he should have been paying for the funeral that he deserves.
Action News reporter Jessica Cartalia live for us outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters with more on what we're learning about this investigation. Jessica.
Yeah, well, Gray and Shari, here at police headquarters, they're investigating this disturbing case of domestic violence as 3 children are left without their parents. Their father killed, their mother now behind bars.
We were shocked. We were totally shocked.
Total mayhem is how Andorra residents described the scene they woke up to on Wednesday morning.
10 cop cars, rescue, fire truck. It's a quiet street. That doesn't happen.
Philadelphia police say just before 7 a.m., officers responded to a report of a person screaming. When they arrived on Bells Mill Road, they found 38-year-old Jordan Baxter lying on a plastic sheet between 2 parked cars with a gun on his chest. Investigators discovered Baxter had been shot in the back of the head, and there was blood on a mattress inside the house. The next morning, 39-year-old Danielle Baxter was arrested and charged with murdering her husband.
Super nice family.
Neighbors who asked that we not show their faces say the couple has 3 children and were very friendly. Jordan Baxter worked as a SEPTA engineer for 14 years. SEPTA released a statement saying, "We're saddened by the tragic loss of Jordan Baxter, who was a veteran regional rail engineer. Our thoughts are with his loved ones at this difficult time."
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. They have children. Very nice.
A neighbor who shares a driveway with the Baxters says she was shocked that she never heard a gunshot.
I guess the way the houses are made, you hear children running up and down the steps or music, no voices ever.
Jordan Baxter's parents shared these photos with Action News and started a GoFundMe to help pay for his funeral.
I'm just sad. Very sad.
And when I spoke with Jordan Baxter's parents, they tell me that they were too distraught to go on camera, but they're...
Okay, so out of the 2 videos that I watched, I didn't hear a motive. Do anybody have any insight on this story? Because I didn't hear a motive yet. I did not hear a motive. We still talking about the insurance deal. I mean, let's talk about the insurance deal. Let's go back, because A team said something that was interesting. You said something that was interesting. So you can pay for your own funeral monthly. Okay, that's an option. That is an option. You can pay for your arrangements monthly. Or if you just balling the fuck out of control, you can go ahead and pay for your stuff and get that taken care of. Okay? You still need a policy in place. So what if you paying it monthly, something happens to you and you ain't paid it completely? Then what? But yeah, get your arrangements. Go get your arrangements scheduled. Not scheduled, but hey, look, I'm about to leave this motherfucker August 3rd of 2033. Okay. So I need this, that, and no, I don't say I misspoke. Don't schedule it, but plan it. Start paying on it. That's an idea. But you still need a policy in case you don't have that thing paid off when it's your time. And you should think about a policy greater than the cost of the arrangements. Because the people that are connected to you, the people that are dependent on you, they need finances for that transition. It's too many times I've witnessed where the other half went home and that half that was left behind had to come up with their own funding for that transition, that phase in life without you. It's a wise investment. People don't see it because the person paying it to will never benefit from it. But that's where that unselfishness, that exercise of love is exhibited. I'm going to utilize every vehicle available to me to minimize any burdens on my family when it's my time. And I strongly believe that we as a people should have that same mindset. It's a form, it's a way, it's a vehicle. Is one of the variables that we can help eliminate for those that depend on us, our spouse and the generation coming behind us, from starting from scratch. Every time it's time for us to go home, the people we leave behind got to freaking start from scratch. Ground zero. It's a form of wealth building. It's a form of sustainability. But each his own. Each his own. I do agree with A-Team. Go out and start paying on your plots right now. But at the same time, that does not exclude the belief that you still need a policy. Because you might not finish paying off that plot when it's your time to go. That's number one. Number two, you got other expenses that your people have to incur in the absence of you that needs to be fulfilled. I want to get back to this. Did anybody find out? Do anybody know the motive behind this? Because I did not, out of the two news reports, I did not see a motive. Mrs. O said the children would be the beneficiaries. See, now, I'm not getting into it. But if you have a surviving spouse, your spouse is supposed to be the beneficiary. Now, if you want to make sure that your spouse is the beneficiary to the point to where your spouse can have a smooth transition. If you want to provide a gift to your children, by all means, grab some other policies to provide that gift. Okay? But your focus, your main objective should not be the children. Your main objective should be making sure that your spouse has a smooth transition. On none of my policies do I have Mrs. O as the secondary. She's the primary. In the event that Mrs. O is not here and it's time for me to go, then I have secondary beneficiaries and then tertiary beneficiaries. So that's how that level should go. That's how that level should go. So I really want to get on this subject here, this one right here. Anybody have a motive on this thing? I did not see a motive. If it's not I didn't see a motive, so we're gonna go with, let's see, most banks and credit unions offer great prices on policies. That's 18. I know someone that has their children and grandchildren funerals paid off and still have insurance. That's 18. Yeah, they in a great situation, man. They on top of their game. I know people that don't want the money coming out of their checks. I think that's nonsense. Let's see here. 18. 18 says she can't be because she deleted him, so hopefully it will go to the spouse and not be canceled. The insurance company will give them no. So this is how it goes. She committed a crime. So if there's a secondary on the policy, the money's going to go to them. Okay? So that's another thing with insurance policies also. If you get deleted while you are in the act of doing a crime, the insurance companies is not going to honor that. Okay. So if you got a policy and you decide to go out here and act a fool and break the law, you still subjecting your people to asking the public to fund the GoFundMe account. Because insurance companies do not support criminal being deleted by criminal by in the act of doing anything criminal. And I know this when I'm speaking from a former licensed insurance agent. So I know what I'm talking about on this. You can't tell me shit on this one. Okay, so, but by her committing the crime, and if she's the primary, it's not going to her. If he has somebody secondary on the policy or what have you, then it's going to them. And what have you. And since, let's see what happened. 18 says sometimes mom and dad keep policies on their children. Yeah, I got a policy on my son, on my eldest. And I'm waiting for him to get married. Then we transferring the policy over to him, and he's going to become the owner of that policy. $10 a month. At this point in the game, being 30 years old, he's able to handle $10 a month. Now you got a family. This is part of your responsibility. Do your thing. And then whatever other coverage he wants to add on to that, that's up to him. What the hell? DeMonte Green Beans, back smothered chicken thighs, rice asparagus. Where the hell did that come from? We talking about deletions and policies. DeMonte Green Beans talking about smothered chicken thighs and rice asparagus. You should have known by having the name of DeMonte Green Beans that somehow we was gonna graft in food. That's pretty good. I'm just messing with you, Green Beans. I don't know what's going on. I ain't scroll up in the chat high enough to see the transition in the conversation. Back smothered chicken thighs. Hey, go to Mutual of Omaha, get your whole life insurance policy, and get a free plate of smothered thighs and rice and some cornbread and a cup of grape Kool-Aid. Nothing go down smooth without a big cup of cold ass grape Kool-Aid, I tell you. There you go. We got off the subject, some serious shit, and we start talking about chicken thighs and rice. All praises on that thing. All praises. Oh, shit. Boy, y'all crazy. Y'all is crazy. That's something else. But I didn't hear a motive in this subject. I didn't hear a motive. Not yet. This and the subject with the pastor in Memphis, we still following that. follow. We waiting on the trial to start with the young lady that's claiming self-defense. We waiting on that because that's when the truth is gonna come out. That's when the text on the phones and all that other good stuff gonna be out and be open to the public. Then we gonna find out if they knew each other or not for real. Also, with this, I didn't hear a motive. No one in the chat has stated that there's a motive. I didn't hear a motive. More than likely, when things like this happens, and the husband being deleted, the husband got caught doing something he wasn't supposed to do. I truly hope that that was not the case, and what have you. But typically that's what happens. You don't mess with hearts. You don't. When you mess with somebody's heart, you're subjecting yourself to some unknowns. You don't know how they're gonna react. You don't know how long it's gonna take to repair that thing. Some stuff you're gonna have to endure for a time. Some stuff you're gonna have to endure immediately, like this young man, if that was the case. And typically that's what it is. He got caught on some bullshit. He got caught on some bullshit. So we're gonna change the energy in the show from that. That lady that was charged with deleting her husband. Let me get the picture of her right here. Let me switch it up right quick. Last name is Baxter. As of right now, well, you know what? Not as of right now, because I know there are occurrences of crimes of passion and things like that, and what have you. And infidelity can create that thing. Okay? That thing. And I get it. I do. Some things provoke us to a point of where we don't have control. However, unless your life is in danger, I do not see an excuse to take one. So with that thought being in place, Miss Baxter, you are this week's Snatch Shenanigan. Not enough of this story has came out as of yet, but right now, and I'm sure most of the, because of a lot of information hasn't came out, that a lot of elements, most of all of the elements in this situation are being investigated. That's why we don't have much information. But omission of information also tells a story. And they did not say that you were, or you had defensive wounds, or looked like he was the aggressor. If that was the case, we have known in the past that the media is quick to make that known. So with that in play, knowing from past experience and past practice, since they did not state that, we can reasonably assume that that's not the case. So with that being said, Mitch Baxter, you have made it to Surreal Snatch Shenanigans. Congratulations. All right. So next on the hook on the show, we've been up in here 2 hours and 30 minutes. Next on the show is Original Royalties. Let me go ahead and get all this stuff off the screen right quick so we can enjoy the show or the video in its entirety. Get all this stuff off of here. I think I'm gonna leave the lower third on there. And we're gonna go ahead and do this thing. All right, here we go. We got Daughters of Sarah Yana with Lady. It's an oldie but goodie. It's one of my favorites. I hope you enjoy it. Let's rock.
My son, as the children of God, we have to keep his commandments. One day, when you reach the age, you will find a virtuous woman who will be your helpmeet, be your pillar of rest, who believes in you and will be silent and loving. Now go and play.
It's hard to find a lady like
extremely rare and expensive. Gonna have to search to find. Lady, time. It's hard to find a lady. Polite, elegant, and refined. A rarity, she's one of a kind. Polite, elegant, and refined. It's hard to find a lady. Polite, elegant, and refined. A rarity, she's one of a kind. Polite, elegant, and refined. It's hard to find a lady.
Ooh-wee. It's hard to find a lady that won't put your butt to sleep if you fuck up. I tell you that. You know what I mean? Hard to find a lady that won't delete your ass if you decide to creep. All right. We got a new subscriber, folks. We got a new subscriber. Brutally honest cornbread. Salute and much love and respect. Salute to you. Salute to you, brutally honest cornbread. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for rocking with us. Hey, hit the replay. We got some good information on who our enemy is. Okay, so get that replay. Get that replay. We got some good information at the beginning of the show and all through the show. So you know what I'm saying? And like, share, and subscribe to like-minded people. You understand? Yes, sir. Brutally honest, good bread. I said cornbread in the beginning. It's good bread. Good bread. Good bread. Yes, sir. Salute and much love. Brutally honest, good bread. New subscriber to the show. Thanks for checking in on us. So, okay, A-Team says the motive behind the fatal shooting remains unclear. However, Baxter shared a message on social media earlier this month hinting at marital troubles. So, yeah. She saw a text. She saw a change in behavior. You know what I'm saying? And she might have found something to confirm it, and it took her over the edge. And what have you. So that kind of substantiate my assumption earlier in regards to him doing something outside the marriage. And what have you. No one deserves death unless they inflict it. The scriptures do say that acts of SA is a form of murder. SA is a form of murder. The scriptures say that. And I haven't ran across a scripture or been instructed to make this statement, but this is my belief that Adultery is a form of murder. You can kill, you can delete someone's spirit doing that thing, especially if they wholly invested in you. Be careful on how you move. Everybody don't be playing around here. 18 said these females out here be plotting on your marriage and waiting for your downfall so they can come right on in, and these men let them. – 18 said if a woman were plotting on her marriage, why would she shoot him in the back while he was in the bed, probably sleeping in the back of his head? Yeah, the chat is hot tonight. Del Monte still talking. Del Monte Green Bean still. This dude, hey, his name and everything he talk about is around food. He said, "Dang, I ain't got any baking pans for some cornbread. Jiffy in the cabinet, can't rock it out. Can't rock it out." Jiffy some good shit. I like Jiffy. Jiffy delicious. Absolutely delicious. But we can't, me and Mrs. O, we can't do delicious. We can't do the Jiffy. So we trying to get more in line with the keto diet and what have you. And we trying to trim up over on this side of the fence. Trying to trim up on this side of the fence. So, like I said, and A-Team had backed up the notion that there's nothing objectively that substantiates a motive right now. So it's in the investigative stages and what have you. And usually when that's in play, it's a crime of passion. You know what I'm saying? Life experience says that thing. You know what I'm saying? And since I'm old school Exit 9, the life journeyman, you know what I'm saying? We gonna go on life experience and say that that's what it was and what have you. So we're gonna wait for future updates and what have you. We'll bring it back out when we get it and what have you. But that's my position right now. That it's a crime of passion. Oh boy, he got caught slipping. All right, that's what it is. Next on the show. Let me get that queued up for you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. You know what it is. It's whiskey of the week, baby. Yeah. Whiskey of the week. And this week's whiskey of the week is called New Riff. Let me pump this up for you a little bit so you can see. I think that's as high as it can go before it starts being weird looking. New Riff Distilling. And since we on our ride journey, New Riff, Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Now I'm gonna tell you, this has a unique flavor. It's not a bad flavor at all. When I say acquired taste, is yes and no. Yes and no. This one tastes is different, but is really good. It's really enjoyable. You will when it first hits your palate, especially when it's going down. Not when it first hits, but you'll really get it in the middle and at the end. And you like, I really like that. It was different, but I liked it. You know what I mean? That's one of those experiences. It's not one of those experiences like, oh, that was different. Well, let me try it again so I can make my mind up. No, this is one of those, oh, that was different, but that was good different. I like that one. Give me another. That's one of these right here. You're going to enjoy this mother right here. I tell you the truth. This is that deal. However, as mentioned before, we ran into Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye, and nothing has topped that yet. This is coming, the New Riff is coming in second right now. So there's gonna be some changes in the show where we're not gonna be doing whiskey of the week every week and what have you. We're gonna integrate some a new segment called Tidbits in Health and what have you. And the reason, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the reason for that is so I don't have to keep going out here trying a bunch of whiskeys. I wanna rest my liver. Cause we not getting monetized. And even if we was getting monetized, I don't want to sacrifice, my health just to provide a whiskey of the week. Okay. I do enjoy drinking whiskeys and what have you, but we need to slow down on that thing, right? Give the old liver a rest and what have you. So we're going to incorporate some other stuff. One of the segments is going to be called Tidbits in Health, where we talk about something in health and what have you. So we're going to talk about some whiskey, something that's going to be, something that's fond of the heart, something that you enjoy. And then we're going to talk about some tidbits in health. We're going to talk about that thing as well, something that you might want to look into to incorporate into your routine that you're doing right now to sustain yourself and prolong yourself, okay? But we all know we need a little recreation time, so we're going to hit you up with this week whiskey review will be the new title when it comes back out. This week's whiskey review. Okay, but that's moving forward. But as of right now, New Riff, Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Let's see what they got to tell us. New Riff Distilling Core Rye Whiskey is full body, offering hugely spice character. Built upon America's 1897 Bottle and Bond Act, already the highest quality standard for aged spirits in the New World. New Riff Rye is bottled and bond without chill filtration, featuring a unique mash bill of 95% rye, 5% malted rye. It represents a new riff on our Halo local rye whiskey tradition. Aged 4 years in full-size 53-gallon toasted and charred new oak barrels, there are no shortcuts taken in this traditional production. All New Riff whiskeys are made with this full sour mash Kentucky regimen. All carry an age statement and always bottled without chill frustration. Our distillers learned the black arts of hardest whiskeys in the world to make the famed 95% rye under the direct tutelage of the distillers who mastered it in Indiana, Larry Ebsord of Seagram's. Taking Master's Larry instruction in hand, we put a riff on it to the tune of adding 5% malted rye. A unique twist that aids in pulling additional flavors out of the rye and adds a touch of elegance of malted rye. New Riff is splendid with a splash of water and of course folds magnificently into classic rye Manhattan. Absolutely. You're going to enjoy this one. You're going to enjoy this one. I highly recommend you go out and try Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye, and I highly recommend you go out and try New Riff Kentucky Straight. Let me pull this up. Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. You're going to enjoy this one. This has a different twist to it, but you're going to enjoy this one. And old school X and 9, don't do it on the rocks, don't do it mixed, you do it straight up. And I suggest if you a true whiskey drinker, or a true whiskey connoisseur, you will do the same thing. Don't mix this shit with nothing else. Go ahead and take it up and enjoy the full experience, for real. So there you go. New Riff, Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Bottle and buy, without chill filtration. After the show, go out and get you some, baby. All right. Let me get my thing together here. Hold on one moment. Tonight we looked at we entertained a question that popped up in last week's episode. Who's our enemy? Who is Esau? And we had a consensus that not only happened in the chat, but what happens generally in the world. You can go on Google, you can go on any platform, any search platform, and you plug in ancient Grecians, you plug in ancient Romans, and you get the an image that resembles Caucasians. At that point, once we established that, we went to 1 Maccabees 1:1 in the Apocrypha of the Bible that still is in the Roman Catholic Church. They still use the Bible with the Apocrypha in the Roman Catholic Church. Maccabees 1:1. And it shows that Alexander the Less was the son of a Macedonian. Then we went into the editions of Esther with a character named Haman/Haman, who was a Macedonian and a son of an Agatite. Then we did search with the Jewish encyclopedia and looked up Agatite and found out Agatite were descendants of Agag, the king of the Amalekites. Then we dig further deeper. We went deeper and found out the Amalekites were descendants of Amalek. Then we dug deeper and found out that Amalek is the grandson of Esau. The Edomites, i.e. the Idumeans, i.e. the Amalek, those are not only your brethren, but they are your sworn enemy. An enemy that the Most High has indignation forever. Quoted straight out the script. To know who you are is to know who your enemy is so that you can move appropriately. And I pray that you do so. Then we went over to Warren Sapp and his shenanigans, and we talked about him and the BS that he was doing, locking people inside his church until he got 40K. And we know for a fact that most of these pastors out here are using tithes wrongly. Tithes were never meant for that. Tithes is 1/10 of your crops. We pulled the script out for that. Tithes is for the Levitical priesthood, which is not in play today because the priesthood was transferred to Judah. That's number one. And number two, we don't have our land anymore. We over here on this side of the pond. We've learned that through conquest, the Idumeans, the Amalekites, the Edomites were subdued and were made to observe our law, statutes, and commandments. And through that, they assimilated. Another tidbit, if you look further if you look deeper into history, the Ottoman Empire is where you will find a more modern connection into what we're dealing with today. The Ottoman Empire is where our today's Russia, our today's Eastern and Western European countries derive from. And part of that empire is where the Israelis derive from. The Ottoman Empire. By way of what John, Thaddeus, and the Maccabees did back in the Grecian or Greek rule, the Hellenized period. Then we went over to Warren Sapp and what he was doing over there. And we talked about the tithes and everything and what have you. I hope my people will wake up and come up out of that thing. The prosperity teachings and stuff and what have you. And wake up to who they really are. for us fathers out there, for that father out that decided to subject his children to harm because of his wickedness, you know what I'm saying? Shame on you. I pray everything that is due comes to you. You get everything bad. And he is one of the few apples, the rotten apples in the bunch that they use to paint the rest of us with. Well, hey, then we had the snatch shenanigans where the lady deleted her husband. There's no motive stated as of yet, but we're gonna follow that case closely as long as with that pastor in Memphis. We still on top of that as well. And the minute we get some information, we're gonna get it out to you. All right. So this is Old School X9. This has been Surreal Sundays. Thank you for rocking with us tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be with us tonight, and we appreciate and love you for that thing. And remember, please remember, I know we in a world where everybody believes that, you know, hey, I'm minding my business and this, that, and the third. You know, I ain't trying to step on no toes and shit. But once you know better, you got to do better and you got to teach better. And with that, we are our brother and sister's keeper. Until next week, peace.
Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you feel for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Just make sure you get in. It's your spirit warring with your flesh, trying to get the best of you. It's all in your head and in your mind. Can't let it mess with you. Trials and tribulation, that's every day. That's what we go through. Are you gonna face it? Stand up like a man. Tell me what you gonna do. No more complaining. Gotta walk blameless. Gotta be humble. You might not get famous. We go through changes. We go through phases. This my life story. Just flip the pages. Just keep enduring. Enduring, keep the law. Cause you don't want it call. You could've still been out here lost. Woke you up to the truth, so don't sleep on it at all. Try not to fall. Try hard to ball. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Just make sure you get in.
I'm standing up, I'm standing tall, ain't laying down, cause I'm standing on it. Oppression make a grown man mad, make you cry, don't it? I pray to God that life so hard, so I'm calling on ya. I gotta endure until the end, I know they counting on me. Just got some bad news, damn, man, they killed my homie. Hit him 9 times, he never saw it coming. Remember the last time, I think I saw you, bruh. Gave you a fire with the knowledge, you didn't want it, bruh. Damn, I'm speak my mind, I'ma tell you the truth. It's hard on them, it's hard on us, it's hard on me, it's hard on you. I'm built for this. Man, ain't equipped for this. Might get killed for this. I pray you repent before your time is up. Your time
Can't
is
let your
spent.
guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Make sure you get in. Can't let your guard down. Better not let God down. You just can't back out, cause it getting hard now. You know you built for this. Just might get killed for this. It's gonna pay off in the end. Just make sure you get in.